Hey everybody, this is Oliver Twist back at you. Really excited to be here to be able to show y'all this video. It was a lot of fun to play this game. I'm playing the USS Black. I was able to get a Kraken, as you'll see later in this video. And it was a really fun game. It really showcases the USS Black and how strong it is with its guns, its smoke radar, which is just super cheese, but it's a lot of fun to play. As well as its torpedoes, which are actually pretty powerful if they land, but some people call them sea mines because of how slow they move. I think base they're around 40, but I think I've got them up to 45 seconds. And so they can be difficult to land in some situations, but they hit pretty hard. They're pretty solid overall. But this is just a fun game. The USS Black is actually a steel ship, or it used to be a steel ship. And I picked it up whenever it was available, and it's no longer available, and we haven't seen it yet, so I'm kind of glad I grabbed it whenever I did. It's a Tier 9 American destroyer, so it's got the American Smoke 7.5 kilometer radar, and lasts almost 30 seconds, I think, maybe 26 seconds. As you can see here, I came into the cap, and I like to put out the torps. They have a decent reload. And I like to put them out almost as zoning torps, or like where I think someone may be. I land a lot of torpedoes that way. I like to communicate a lot in chat. Some people don't like that. I'm normally, pretty good about communicating with people, being respectful. Some people don't like whenever I ask questions, but I don't think it hurts to say a little bit here and there in chat. So I do try to keep it to a limit, though. As you can see here, I'm just trying to get the cap. No one contested, which I'm really surprised on this map, because B is normally something that's contested very often. You'll normally have a cruiser or two sitting behind the island, waiting to radar whatever DD's there. You can see I picked up the RPF, and I pinged it, and I'm letting people know where it's at. Again, communication is key in a game like this, just trying to get as much information as I can to be able to make the best choices possible. Gonna make my way over to C, where a majority of my team is, and it looks like their team is pretty pushed off of it. See if I can help with the cap. Maybe find their DD, get some radar down. So you can see one of their destroyers over there on B, trying to move in maybe to cap it. One over on this side above C. I'm being pretty aggressive here. I can see how far their ships are, and sometimes I'm more aggressive than others, just depending on how much radar they have, where their radar ships are located, and how far away they are from where I am. I know that the Alaska has a 10-kilometer radar, so I'm safe where I am here. Again, just constantly looking, ready for torpedoes to come my way, trying to be angled in a way where I can dodge multiple torpedoes. Just going to get the cap and move forward from here. And this is really an issue I see. I hate to be on the receiving end of this. Whenever I just see, battleships, cruisers, DDs, where they just back off of the cap, and you kind of see that across the board. You have to be aggressive. You're going to lose some health, but if you're a battleship, you're a cruiser, you need to move up and put some pressure on a cap, because if you allow them to get free caps, really what it does is normally the islands are located around the caps, and so when you give up the caps and you back off of it, sometimes there's islands you can hide behind, but really what you're doing is you're allowing the enemy team to not only have caps and get the cap points, but also they're able to have the position on you. If you look at the team right now to the north side of all the caps, as I go ahead and radar the DD here, and I'm gonna light them up, and as you can see, I don't actually get spotted. I smoked, but there really may not have been a reason to. Maybe so, actually. Maybe I would have been in range, but sometimes I can actually use their smoke to my advantage by radaring them. But like I said, as you can see, all their ships to the north are just in the open. So they're basically just having to dodge or throttle juke and things like that. They don't have any islands to be able to sit behind, to be able to break line of sight. And that's a huge disadvantage for your team. It makes it really difficult to come back from. So right from the start, positioning in this game just not good for their team, and we're going to take advantage of that. See me, I put torps in there, blind firing. I was able to land a torp, maybe on a different ship, not that DD I was shooting at further back. Torping smoke, especially when there's gunfire coming out of it, always a good idea. Notice how I'm patient here. I don't shoot because there are a few of his ships that have now backed him up, and it'd be silly for me to shoot. I haven't lost a lot of health yet. I'm spotting for my team because he shot outside of his smoke, which allowed my team to shoot at him, which I don't know if they do here, but would have been nice if they would have. But there's no point in me shooting to try to kill him whenever he has all his teammates there, because that's really just gonna make me lose health. I won the engagement. There's no reason for me to try to force a kill here when we have all the caps. They're gonna have to push into us. So I'm trying to be patient and use some discipline here to not shoot at him, even though I have the opportunity to. Also, if you notice what I'm doing here, I'll get into smoke here to try to shoot and farm some damage, but for the most part, if I can, I sit outside of my smoke and I'm well in front of my team. I'm watching where their radar is and things like that, but one of my least favorite things is when there's a destroyer. Your number one goal as a destroyer really is to spot. Spot, cap, and to kill other DDs, but spotting is so important. Whenever I'm playing a battleship or a cruiser, one of my least favorite things is watching a DD sit back by us and just torp from afar, or sit in their smoke and try to farm damage, and then we can't see the enemy team. Vision in this game is really important, which is why carriers are so powerful. So as a DD, I'm always trying to spot, always trying to stay up in the front lines, and every now and then I'll pop into smoke to farm some damage, but for the most part, I like to be outside of smoke spotting people. You can see here I get detected. He's right in my face. Obviously in this instance we're so close it's inevitable. His guns aren't facing me, so I'm going to take advantage of that and start opening fire on him. And I actually get a double strike here. My torpedoes that I launched out towards that smoke ended up landing finally with my really slow torpedoes, and I was able to get the kill on the destroyer, who was pushed up way too far, especially for as low health as he has. And you can see there, none of his team was able to shoot at me. And so before I could have opened fire, but it wouldn't have made sense because I could have taken a lot of damage. In this instance, I was patient, waited, they had to push in, and then I took advantage of that by getting that kill on him before he could really even shoot at me. And you can see here I've already gotten 77,000 damage, death strike, and a double strike, and I've barely lost any health or been detected for most of the game. I really love this ship. It's a whole lot of fun to play. Sorry if you hear me moving around in my chair a little bit. See my DD torping behind me here, so I gotta make sure I don't block his torpedoes. And their team's pushed up at this point. I'm in this channel, so if I get radar for some reason, I could always back out. But I'm gonna go ahead and smoke because then I get to farm some free damage. Ooh, another DD came into the range. And he's just open water gunboating. I mean, that's just silly. Especially pushing into the enemy team. And I do have radar available. I don't have to use it because he doesn't smoke up or anything here. He just fired in the open, which just allows me to kill him. See, these guns are a little loopy and not the most accurate, but they fire really fast, so they end up being a good amount of DPM. You can see here he pretty confident that last shell is going to kill him, but they smoke up. They get a little bit comfortable here, this last DD, and I go ahead and pop my radar and able to put out a lot of damage. Smoke and radar is just so strong. That's why there's very few ships that have both. And I start moving up here as I'm shooting to try to make sure that I keep shells on this target to try to finish him off. And I slow down right at the end, and boom. Get him right there at the end. Man, what a fun game. And I'm just going to keep using my smoke, putting out torpedoes, and firing on them. They do have some battleships pushing up over here, but I don't want to push out of my smoke, so I'm just going to farm whatever is available to me. Luckily, there's not allied damage anymore, because those torps, I would have killed them and I'd be pink right now. My team is doing a good job of throwing their bodies into them and making this game last a little longer. See here, they're pushing up. I get spotted, but he's really close. So I'm going to go ahead and back up and get radar, but I'm going to use this island to my advantage here. And just keep backing up, using my front guns to hit him. Scoot up a little bit, noticing that his guns aren't even on me. Once he's dead, I feel confident. I'm going to move up here, and I know that I have smoke in 20 seconds. My torpedoes are up in 10. They're outside of my range, so I'm just going to go ahead and move up here to try to make some moves and finish the game off. I shoot that first set, and then I wait to see what he's going to do. See, I get spotted, so I'm going to go ahead and pop smoke and slow down here. I'm spotted for a moment. I have so much health. Even if I did just get absolutely destroyed right here, I'd still survive. So really the goal right here is just to get him low enough so that even if I catch him with just one torp, at this point I know my torps are going to land, and so I switch. I'm like, hey, let me get a little extra damage because my torpedoes are going to hit and kill him. I'm pretty confident in it, but even if not, we're winning pretty hard here, so I do farm a little extra damage, can't lie. And you can see right here, trying to turn in, eat the torp. That's my 5th kill. I get the Kraken. I believe it's 119,000 damage. Really, really fun game. The USS Black is a really powerful ship. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this. Hopefully it was fun, and I hope to catch y'all next time. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe if y'all can, and catch you next time.